Welcome to my channel. Today we are diving deep into one of the biggest questions surrounding English football right now: Chelsea's winless curse. Can they break it? For supporters of Chelsea FC, the last few seasons have felt like a rollercoaster stuck in the wrong direction. This is a club built on ambition, trophies, and dramatic nights under the lights. Yet recently, long winless runs, frustrating draws, and painful defeats have replaced the dominance that once defined them. The question echoing around Stamford Bridge is simple but heavy: how did it come to this? Chelsea are not a small club adjusting to mid-table life. This is a team that has conquered Europe, lifting the UEFA Champions League twice in its history. They have stood at the summit of English football multiple times. The identity of Chelsea has always been built around winning, sometimes ugly, sometimes dominant, but always effective. During the era of Jose Mourinho, Chelsea embodied resilience and ruthlessness. They were mentally unbreakable. A one-goal lead felt like three. Big games brought out their strongest performances. Even when they were not the most stylish team, they were the most efficient. That mentality became part of the club's DNA. So what changed? One of the most significant turning points came with the departure of longtime owner Roman Abramovich. Under his ownership, Chelsea operated with clear ambition and immediate expectations. Managerial changes were frequent, but trophies kept coming. When Abramovich left, a new era began under Todd Boehly and Clearlake Capital. New ownership brought a new vision: long-term investment, youth recruitment, and structural overhaul. But transitions at elite football clubs are rarely smooth. Chelsea embarked on one of the most aggressive spending sprees in modern football history. Young talents from across Europe and beyond arrived with enormous potential. On paper, it looked exciting. In reality, chemistry does not develop overnight. A team is not simply a collection of individuals. It is a network of relationships, understanding, and rhythm. Youth brings energy, but it also brings inconsistency. The Premier League is unforgiving. Every week presents a tactical battle, physical intensity, and psychological pressure. Young squads often struggle when momentum turns negative. Confidence dips quickly, and without experienced leaders to steady the ship, winless runs can stretch longer than expected. Another key factor behind the so-called curse has been instability in management and tactical philosophy. Systems have changed. Formations have shifted. Players have been asked to adapt repeatedly. When a team does not have tactical continuity, performance suffers. Players hesitate. Movements become reactive rather than instinctive. That hesitation costs goals, and ultimately, points. In football, confidence is invisible but powerful. When a team is winning, everything flows naturally. Strikers shoot without overthinking. Defenders clear lines calmly. Midfielders demand the ball. But during a winless streak, the opposite happens. A missed chance feels heavier. A defensive mistake triggers panic. The fear of failure becomes louder than the desire to succeed. It is also important to recognize the context of the modern Premier League. The competition has never been stronger. Manchester City have set extraordinary standards under Pep Guardiola. Their tactical precision and squad depth make them relentless. Arsenal FC have rebuilt with patience and a clear football identity. Liverpool FC remain intense and structured. Even traditional mid-table teams now play with advanced analytics, athletic preparation, and tactical discipline. Chelsea are no longer competing in a league where financial power alone guarantees dominance. Structure and identity matter more than ever. Injuries have also played a damaging role. Consistency in selection is critical for developing partnerships, especially in defense and midfield. When key players rotate in and out due to fitness problems, cohesion disappears. Combinations that look promising one week vanish the next. Rhythm never settles. However, labeling this period as a curse may oversimplify the situation. Football is cyclical. Even the greatest clubs experience decline before renewal. Chelsea themselves have bounced back from difficult seasons before. After finishing outside the top spots in previous campaigns, they have returned stronger, more focused, and more unified. The real question is not whether Chelsea can win again. The real question is whether they can transform this transitional period into a foundation for sustainable success. To break the winless cycle, three pillars must be established. First, identity. Chelsea must define exactly how they want to play. Are they a pressing team that overwhelms opponents? A possession-dominant side that controls tempo? Or a rapid counter-attacking unit built on speed? Clarity creates confidence. When every player understands their role within a defined structure, performance stabilizes. Second, leadership. Young squads require guidance. Leadership does not only come from captains wearing armbands. It comes from players who remain composed under pressure. When conceding a goal, someone must demand focus rather than frustration. When the crowd grows anxious, someone must slow the tempo and reset the mindset. Championship teams are built on emotional control as much as technical ability. Third, patience. Rebuilding a footballing empire takes time. Owners must resist the urge to react emotionally to short-term setbacks. Managers need room to implement ideas. Supporters, though passionate, may need to accept that immediate glory is not always realistic during structural transition. There are, importantly, positive signs beneath the surface. Chelsea often creates significant scoring opportunities even during winless spells. The problem has not always been creativity, it has been efficiency. In elite football, margins are microscopic. A shot that hits the post instead of going in can change narratives. A single defensive lapse can undo 80 minutes of control. Momentum in football is powerful. One convincing victory can transform belief overnight. Confidence spreads quickly. Passes become sharper. Players demand the ball rather than hide from it. The so-called curse can dissolve as quickly as it appeared. Critics argue that heavy investment without immediate structure has created imbalance. That criticism is not entirely unfair. Squad building is not about stockpiling talent. It is about assembling complementary profiles, defenders who communicate, midfielders who balance creativity with discipline, forwards who synchronize movement. Chemistry must be cultivated deliberately. But time is an underrated asset in football. Many of the players brought in are young enough to grow together for years. If stability is maintained, the long-term potential is enormous. Supporters also play a subtle yet significant role. Stamford Bridge has witnessed unforgettable nights, dramatic comebacks, last-minute winners, and European triumphs. When the crowd channels belief instead of anxiety, players feel supported rather than judged. The atmosphere of a stadium can influence the psychology of a team more than statistics can measure. So, can Chelsea break the winless curse? Absolutely. Not because of blind optimism, but because the structural foundation remains strong. Financial stability exists. The academy continues to produce talent. The global brand remains attractive to world-class players. London remains a magnet for ambition. What must change is alignment. Recruitment, tactics, leadership, and mentality must operate in the same direction. When alignment happens, results usually follow. The narrative of a curse makes headlines, but football rarely operates on fate. It operates on preparation, decision-making, and resilience. Every training session, every tactical meeting, every locker room conversation shapes outcomes. The path forward will not be built on desperation. It will be built on discipline. At some point, perhaps unexpectedly, there will be a match where everything clicks. The early goal will come. The defense will hold firm. The midfield will control transitions. The final whistle will blow, and relief will turn into belief. From that moment, the conversation will shift. Not from curse to collapse, but from rebuilding to resurgence. History shows that great clubs do not disappear. They evolve. Chelsea have reinvented themselves before, and they can do it again. The key lies in transforming adversity into identity, rather than allowing frustration to dictate decisions. The winless run may feel endless to fans in the moment, but football seasons are chapters in a much longer story. Chelsea's story is still being written. This period, painful as it may be, could become the foundation of a smarter, more sustainable era. Breaking the curse will not require magic. It will require clarity, leadership, patience, and belief. And when it finally happens, when victories return consistently and confidence floods back into Stamford Bridge, this difficult chapter will be remembered not as the fall, but as the turning point. Thank you for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Chelsea's situation, make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more football analysis. I'll see you in the next video.